Uh-oh. Jordan's King Abdullah spilled the beans. In the upcoming issue of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg profiles the Arab leader who candidly criticizes Egypt, Turkey, and Syria. Abdullah is the most pro-American Arab leader in the Middle East, but also Jordan is home to one of the smallest and poorest Arab nations. He insists that only he can lead the transition to democracy, in part to ensure that democracy will not be delivered to his Islamist opponents. Abdullah says of President Morsi of Egypt that he has no depth. He says of Prime Minister Erdogan of Turkey that he is an authoritarian who views democracy as a bus ride, a vehicle to assuming power, and says of President Bashar al-Assad of Syria that he's so provincial he had never heard of jet lag. Why is he throwing them under the bus, and what do you make of this interview?
I think it's important to examine the lens by which we view an interview like this. So, if you're seeing the article from Abdullah's perspective, he is situating these countries. I don't think he intends to be critical, but I think it's the way that his words have been depicted in this article that are making him critical. I think we need to delineate what Abdullah intended and what Jeffrey Goldberg has done. So we're looking at when this article was published, which we know is intending to be published in April, but all of this news is coming out now, and Obama will be here on Friday. And so Goldberg talks about how Abdullah calls it Israeltine, but then I think it's important to note that in other parts of the article, Abdullah is very positive about both Israel and Palestine, saying that Palestine should be more proportionately represented in Jordan. And like you mentioned earlier, this has been met with a lot of criticism from the news agencies in Jordan as well, who are saying that his words were taken out of context. I think it's about the role of the media in positioning certain views over others. So I would like at this moment to point out that the Western media has been positioning this in a certain light, and the Arab media has not. So if you look at today's New York Times heading is "Jordan's King finds fault in everyone." And the heading for the BBC is King Abdullah criticizes regional leaders. But the heading of the Petra News today is that Jordan's king. I've written this down. Jordan's king Abdullah's comments have been taken out of context. That he seeks to champion reforms. So in terms of what you're saying, that no, not everything is out of context, but it might be certain quotes are being used to further certain things that he may not have meant.